Hey guys, we're going to be talking about the movie Cloud Atlas today. It's pretty long, so this is going to be a special 2-part episode. I also want to say that this movie does have a lot of really heavy topics. So number one, spoiler alert, if you've never seen Cloud Atlas. Also, I just want to give everyone a content warning. Yeah, this movie goes to a lot of dark places. We didn't cover that as much here and there in this episode, but we did kind of cover some really kind of crazy things. So just please know that when going into the movie.
Trigger warning, abuse, rape, and suicide.
And there is specifically also something to do with a dog. I don't want to say too much, but if you're hearing it now, it's not good. But I do want to just get that out of the way.
From visionary directing duo the Wachowskis comes a film so thought-provoking. The biggest question it provoked was, what the fuck is going on? It's Cloud Atlas. This sci-fi epic was based on a novel by David Mitchell that weaves 6 intertwining stories across time, meditating the human condition and the bonds that last lifetimes. It's like JoJo, but with less punching. Try to follow along and marvel at the attempts at makeup as well as depictions of Asianface that would make Mickey Rooney look woke. Speaking of woke, make sure to stay awake for this 3-hour runtime as well as today's episode of the TRACcast.
Mickey Rooney catching some strays. Well, he needed them strays.
I think...
Yeah, he deserved it.
He did.
If we renamed our podcast the TRACcast, we could potentially get more viewers.
Honestly, we probably could.
We only got talked Cloud Atlas from here on out.
Well, it's not even that. Cloud Atlas is in like a weird interstitiary period right now, where it kind of evolved from being shit on a ton when it first released. Now people are kind of like warming up to it, and I guarantee you in 2-3 years it's going to be like a classic, 100%.
So that's one thing. I haven't seen a lot of the reception on it since, like, I don't know, in between when I originally saw this movie and then when I saw this movie for the podcast. But you're saying that overall reception nowadays is actually pretty good?
Yeah, if you look at reception,
yeah.
If you look at reception from like a year to 2 years ago, like basically it's all praise. I mean, obviously, we're gonna address the elephant in the room. There is really bad depictions of Asianface here. White actors and Asian looking makeup when they could have just hired Asian actors. It's really stupid, and it puts a damper on the film. It shouldn't have happened. There's also a little bit of brown face, but the intention wasn't to make fun of the races. Regardless, it shouldn't have happened. Yeah, that's all we're gonna say about it. If you watch the movie,
it's apparent.
If you watch the movie, the makeup looks like shit.
The makeup looks like shit, and I get why they're trying to do it. It just doesn't come off very well when they could have very well just hired, like you said, actors that fit that nationality. Yeah,
100%. It was stupid, but that's all we're gonna say about it. It's throughout the film. If you watch it, you'll.
Well, and I think everybody would be very surprised because like there are some big names to attach to this film.
Huge,
huge names. Welcome to another episode of today's review of Assorted Cinema, otherwise known as the TRACcast. I am one of your hosts. That is Trevor.
I'm lost.
I'm found.
And I'm Cloud.
Cloud Strife on our show.
That's so profound.
Shrug for Shrug
and
for
today
me.
we're gonna yarn you a tale. We're gonna yarn you a tale about Cloud Atlas.
Before we jump too much into this, this movie is it's kind of a mess. You should watch it before you listen to this episode. Watch the movie.
Yes, it's a highly we're gonna give the TRACcast like stamp of like you gotta watch this movie before you say anything about it. Like you do not get to have an opinion about this movie. You have to see it.
Don't be one of those motherfuckers. Don't be one of those motherfuckers that read One Piece spoilers and talk about it. You know what I mean?
Those punk scum.
And get things wrong.
Literally.
Yeah. Welcome. And yes, today we're going to be talking Cloud Atlas. It's a pretty long movie, but we really enjoyed it. I mean, but we're going to get into it. I think it's hard to like not talk about this movie. So let's just do it. Honestly, like, let's just get to it. Aref, you were the one who chose this movie. And I know that you said that you want to hold off to talk about the reason for that towards the end. So we'll hold off about the reason.
Yes.
Do we want to just jump straight into our plot, or do we want to take a second to just like, set a little stage about it or anything like that?
We can set a little bit of a stage. I have some like information that I think might be useful. First of all, this movie is an indie movie. Did you know that? It's independent.
What the fuck?
It's not part of any kind of studio. Yeah.
Really?
And you know how much it costs to make?
How much?
No.
Take guesses.
200 million?
Oh, fuck you, Ryan. 100 million. It took 100 million.
I'm sorry. It's right there. Yeah. Well, like, I don't know. 200 million's a lot back then. And it feels like what you pay Chris Evans to just be in the movie. Sorry. Yeah. 100 million. 100 million is a lot back then. And it just is like the amount that what you just pay Robert Downey Jr., right? To just be in Marvel now.
Yeah. Well, also, like, I mean, they're definitely not, like they have the money to spend on the effects and actors and stuff like that for sure. But that is cool. I didn't know that it was independent. That's crazy.
Yeah, technically an indie film. I wouldn't call it an indie film, but
No.
by definition it is.
I guess so.
It's not tied to a studio. I mean, like, who the fuck would buy this?
Which is so funny because, like, this is still, like, the Wachowskis who, like, pushed, the boundaries of special effects and things like that. And I would even argue in this movie, they probably do a little bit,
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the effects look good for the video effects, I think, look pretty good in the movie. The makeup and stuff is a little to be desired, but
came out in 2012.
Yeah.
Right after, post Avatar days.
Funny enough, just like speaking about the makeup, right? We discussed it a little bit. Like, actors play multiple roles in this, so they put them in makeup to make them look different. I watched this twice. I watched this on my monitor in front of my computer with the TRACcast, but I also watched it with my wife Bree. And when you're sitting far away from the screen, it looks slightly better. It looks slightly better.
I'm sure.
Bree was commenting about how she kind of liked the makeup, and then she was like, "Oh God!" But anyway,
well, I think the makeup looks good when it's not trying to change somebody's race. I think that's where where it has fun because everyone, this movie features Hugh Grant in full Aboriginal-esque, cannibal garb,
like post-apocalyptic.
Let's just get that out of the way. Very
crazy,
right?
Yeah,
I'm sure if Hugh Grant saw a picture of this today, he would denounce it. To be completely honest, that makeup. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it's Hugh Grant.
Yeah,
it's just Hugh Grant.
It's like pretty. To whatever its credit is, I mean, obviously, like, makeup is supposed to you're supposed to sink into a character, but it is kind of cool that you can kind of tell who people are under all that.
Yeah,
in a way,
it's really interesting. This is such an interesting movie.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
More than a movie. I mean, well, it is a movie. I don't know. I know I joked about this being the last movie they were ever gonna make because it just. I remember a lot of the marketing around it being this is the movie to end all movies, Citizen Kane 2. But then it severely flopped.
So, Trevor, there's a way to think about that. I think the guys that made Anthem were basically saying the same thing with Anthem. They were like, it's going to be the David Bowie of fucking games, and it's going to stop everything. You'll never have to worry about a game ever again. And it flopped and it stunk, and I think maybe 100,000 people.
Yeah,
they lost $200 billion or something stupid. But this is good.
Yeah,
this rocks. Anthem stunk.
For the audience at home listening, I believe the history of this. Obviously, Aref brought this, so he's seen it. Trevor, you said you've seen it, and I think this is Ryan and I's first time seeing this movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And funny enough, I don't know what Aref is holding for later, but I do want to say that me and Aref did see this movie together years ago.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy to think about how oh my God, we saw that movie and then crazy. Yeah. In theaters, we were 15 and just crazy. We can talk more about that later.
You're the early adopters of this movie.
The
really
reason I
were.
said that litmus test thing is because, like, we watched that scene where they have sex, the two lovers, and like we didn't like me and Aref were like not giggling, not like looking at each other. We played it cool because we both like wanted to just see a movie, and like we thought this movie looked cool, and like just wanted to play it cool, and we did. And I don't know, I just remember that, and I was like, this is nice. Like I know that like my friend is mature. I think
Bonding moment.
I think we need to talk about this movie with our audience. I think we need to let them know
Yeah.
and get them in on what's going on, because it feels like we're dancing around it, and we need to just open the door.
There's just a lot of precursor, but
Yeah,
I think
sorry,
we got through
was there
it.
more to cover, though?
No.
Sorry.
I think we got through it. So Christian, you want to give us kind of a lowdown?
Yeah. So this movie, for all intents and purposes, it is 6 kind of vignettes, 6 acts, if you will. Different stories across time that range from 1849 all the way to the year 2321, the far future.
Far future, which
and-
looks like the past.
It does, yeah. We made a observation, kind of like a Horizon Zero Dawn kind of post-apocalypse.
Yes, very much that.
The movie presents
Similar.
this in a way that these scenes, not chronologically, they present them kind of intertwining back and forth. There's a lot of very sudden cuts from time periods to another that seemingly don't have any connection, except some cool like visual cuts that are kind of cool, like someone doing something in one era and then there's another shot that looks exactly like it in the next. It's really cool. But for the purposes, I think, of discussing the movie, we talked about just talking about the scenes kind of chronologically and making callbacks, just for ease. I think of keeping it centered narratively.
The way that this movie is made, though, like I can imagine anybody in an older age that has like an issue keeping up with movies would have such a hard time watching this movie, just with how sudden and back and forth it is. Because like it won't even like jump around in like a patterned way. It'll like go from one to the other to back to another to even further forward or further back from there.
What's
What's cool about it.
What I find cool about the movie, is like it is kind of jarring at first, but you kind of learn to adapt to it, and then by the end, it almost kind of like wins you over in terms of like, oh, it all did have a point. You know what I mean? Like it isn't
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is like upon rewatch, a lot of the metaphors that they kind of, I mean, it's heavy-handedly put in there. It starts from the beginning, right? So so I definitely recommend rewatching it if you guys can, like the somewhat
now
near
that we
future.
have it like fresher in our mind, even.
Yeah, because you'll start grasping at little things at the beginning where like, oh my god, this shit made sense the time. It doesn't make sense.
Interesting. That's interesting. So even more so than we think, like connections and callbacks and things like that.
Yeah, it's throughout. It's nonstop.
Well, so let's start our first story, which we're not going to finish the first story because we're going to loop back to it later, but let's introduce our first story so that we at least get this out of the way.
Yeah, the movie kind of hard opens on we get like an elderly, battle-scarred, weathered Tom Hanks recounting a tale, spinning us a yarn, one might say.
Spinning us a yarn, speaking the true.
And he is immediately speaking the true. This pigeon language that he's speaking, that they speak in the future.
Tell you a tale, spin your yarn.
Yeah, exactly. He's just kind of like presenting like, oh, I'll tell you the story of, blah, blah, blah. And then we get the kind of hard cut. And we don't know what year it is, I believe, at that point, right? It just kind of opens.
No, yeah, we don't. But there's a lot of mixed signals. Like they're at a campfire.
Mm-hmm. He looks like a shaman.
He looks like a shaman. The way they speak is almost tribal. And he's telling like stories to his kin that are near him. It's like kind of like stories of the elder days, and not only that, but he also has like some tribal tattooing on his face too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then from that we immediately cut to 1849 in the Polynesian Islands area, the Pacific Islands. And we meet our first kind of primary character, Adam Ewing. And each vignette,
I still can't say his name.
Each vignette kind of follows like a specific character as kind of like the main character. And in the first
with
one,
references to others here and there.
Adam Ewing played by Jim Sturgis in the film, and we'll get into this, of course. But the film is an ensemble cast, and the cast kind of shows up in all the different vignettes as different characters.
Just to take a second and focus on the ensemble cast, like, they do take big swings, like this movie does. This movie really does, take big swings, and this cast does too. And I do think that overall, they do a pretty good job. And you see that from them. I hope they had fun when they were making this film. I'm not sure. I'm sure a lot of them were probably like, what the fuck is going on? What am I doing? But at the same time, I don't know. I hope that maybe they can look back and see that they made something cool.
Yeah.
And it shows.
I mean, I can kind of jump in here a little bit, but oh my god, I forgot his fucking name. A man called Otto.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Holy shit!
Or
I'm
Otto.
notoriously bad with names. I'm totally. I'm completely terrible with names.
He is Otto.
TRACcast,
Call him
fuck
Otto.
it. Anyways,
Friend
Tom
of the,
Hanks.
Friend of the podcast.
Tom
Otto.
Hanks. Tom Hanks has been quoted that this is like one of the few movies he consistently watches. So I think it was kind of a good experience. Well, at least it was for Tom Hanks. So, but
oh, is he really?
cut, right. Fact check that. Cut it. If
we're gonna be slandering friend of the pod, Tom Hanks,
Otto.
and
Otto
Langdon.
Anyways, back to the story.
Back to the story of
cast.
Cloud Atlas.
Anyway.
Adam Ewing.
Adam Ewing is a lawyer from America. His ship needs some repairs. He's on his way home back to the good old US of A. And he's conversing with this ship's doctor, who also played by Tom Hanks, who's kind of a freak, kind of a freakazoid. You see kind of firsthand the slave trade kind of going on in this area of the Pacific. And we see Adam Ewing witness. He sees a bunch of slavers whipping and punishing this one particular slave named Atua, I believe is his name.
Yeah, Atua.
Yes,
Atua.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The goat.
Your hero.
Honestly, the goat for real.
Yeah.
And this obviously, well, I mean, not obviously. He's a white man back then. Who knows what he was thinking? But Adam Ewing does not take kindly to seeing this. He is not a fan of seeing this.
Our brave hero, Adam Ewing, who's gonna do something.
He faints.
I at this point, I want to point out two things. One, if you look at the tribal, they all have the same tattoos that Tom Hanks has.
That Tom Hanks has.
Oh,
from
yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning.
Yes.
Just keep that in mind.
Very Arrival-esque, by the way.
Yeah. But number two,
Arrival
you
ads.
feel so bad for Adam. He's so sad that the man was getting fucking whipped. He fainted.
He's an empath.
Dude, I will say it is framed a little like, oh no, the white man, he fainted. Like now we have to pay attention to that after the whipping. It's like
it's a little silly. It's very silly.
Yeah, it's like, are we not gonna? Which, like, I guess kind of is the point a little bit, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So he faints, and then the Dr. Goosey himself.
Yeah.
Says,
also, again, Tom Hanks.
He goes, I know what this is. This is the parasite. This is the worm. This is the worm in you.
You got the worm. You got the worm, bro.
Yeah.
He's got
the RFK lithium in his brain.
Yeah, it's the worm. You got a worm, bro. Sorry.
Well, you'll have a worm in your brain, and I know.
Drink this green water, please. It'll fix the worm.
Silver water will get.
Fucking insert Joe Rogan sound effect telling someone not to make fun of RFK.
Chillax, bro.
No, we can make fun of RFK. This is a RFK friendly
People have friends of the pod. We have enemy of the pod. Enemy of the pod, RFK Jr.
Well, really,
we're not
the
afraid to say
brainworm.
it.
Let's be honest, guys.
True, he pilots RFK.
So he's diagnosed with brainworm, and
He
Tom Hanks. They're on the ship because the ship is going from the Polynesian islands back to the U.S.
Back to the U.S. And importantly, also Tom Hanks points to a birthmark on him, right, and goes like, "Oh, this is the sign of the worm," doesn't he?
Yeah. And this is a common theme. Common thread. Pay attention here is birthmarks. In this first case, it's a shooting star, and we'll go more into it as we go through the vignettes.
But yeah, so they go, all right, we gotta get you back home, boy. And they put him on the boat, and he's sick, he's thrown up, he's puking everywhere. And they throw him down.
Fucking loser.
Down can't handle a little Polynesian.
Can't handle it.
They throw him down there to like recuperate or whatever.
Bad chili.
And Adam notices that Atua has stowed away on the boat. Atua is basically pleading with him, like, please, like I could tell
Don't say nothing.
I could tell you're a good man. Don't say anything, or try to convince the crew to like let me join, like, because I can help.
Yes,
like, I need to get out of there.
He does say, like, I can prove myself. Like, I can work. Like, at the very least.
Yeah.
I saw the white guilt in your eyes. You're a good man.
Literally.
But at the same time, it's like
good ones.
I think it also is like to go to show that like Adam Ewing doesn't have to like do that much work to help him. That's how bad it is. Like genuinely. Like I don't think it's as like in your face when you think about it, but like he's not asking a lot.
Hey, ignore me.
No,
literally
Ignore
nothing.
Me.
Yeah.
I
just like, hey, just maybe throw me some food every once in a while. That's
and
literally
Adam
it.
Has the security of himself for never having to even if whatever, he could just be like, it's a stowaway, and they'll just kill him and it's over.
That's why at this point, I mean, we find out that Adam does end up helping Altua, right? Altua.
Yeah.
He does end up helping Altua. He does like kind of say, okay, we'll keep you discreet. Which, in my opinion, I wouldn't really call that an act of bravery, but I would call it an act of kindness.
Yes.
Yeah. I think Altua says something really, really prolific here, where he says it's like, you might as well just kill me, like if you don't want to help me, because I'm either thrown with the fishes or like starved or whatever, or you kill me right here. It's no difference to me. So
really
you're in action.
He puts a knife up to his neck, and it's like, he's like, I would really genuinely rather die.
Yeah,
than,
which is very. It shows Altua's character a lot, because Altua had the option to threaten Adam the entire time,
right?
But chose to
stronger than him.
But that's not going to get him anywhere.
Adam's. It's true. Exactly.
Right.
Well, it's showing. In my opinion, it's showing like
only through compassion.
It's just like he's appeasing his compassion. He's appeasing Adam's empathy, which is like a big string, right? It's really set up with this scene throughout.
Well, and it's going to have major waves later, which we'll get to.
Exactly.
Yeah. But his whole thing is basically like Adam's whole story is surviving his trip with the worm on the boat. And as they go, there's this like really, really awesome scene where they find out that Atua has stowed away on the ship, and Adam kind of has the scene where he like sort of defends him and is like, well, just give him a chance. Like, let's see like what he can do on the boat. Cause he's saying, oh, I can work for you guys. I can do this. And the captain of the ship like has Atua do this, huge feat where he says like, go up and, get the sails down or whatever to like get them to, catch the wind.
He literally has a tryout to join the pirate team.
He literally has a tryout to join the team. At the same time, the first mate then pulls out a gun and is like, look, I'm going to shoot this guy. He doesn't say guy, by the way. He said, like, there is N-word thrown around in this movie. Heads up.
Yeah.
He says it different.
So
Tarantino's in it just to say the N-word. It's crazy.
Yeah, he perked up in the movie theater. Oh, this got good.
And, like, he's gonna shoot. And at the same time, Adam is like, you can't shoot him. Like, come on, he's at least doing his end of the bargain that you just made with him. Like, you told him to do it, let him do it, and then, like, process it, And the first mate's about to shoot, and then I believe what happens is like Tua jumps at the same time Adam kind of goes for the gun to push it out of the way as it shoots. So not only does Tua get the sail down, but also the gun never goes anywhere near him, off near Tua, and he's okay. And thus, at that point, I think it's, they're like, okay, we got a stowaway, but as long as he works, it's fine, kind of thing. And the trip continues on.
And Adam is getting more and more sick as it goes on. The worm is making its way through his little brain stem. And Henry Goose is like, don't worry about it. Just keep drinking this strange yellow liquid that I'm forcing down here.
Yeah, totally not piss.
The anti-worm juice.
Anti-worm juice. That is totally not piss.
It's horse dewormer.
Yeah. So he's getting worse with the worm, and the doctor keeps feeding him all this poison that's really just probably making him worse. And as Adam's story goes, and let me remind the audience, this is later on in the movie. This isn't all in the beginning. We're only explaining the beginning first vignette.
Yeah.
This happens later on. There's a really awesome scene where Tua comes out of the shadows to help Adam, and he gets the doctor to get off of him, and kind of basically proves to Adam that the doctor's poisoning him. That's
there was no
what
worm.
The issue is.
There was no
worm. There was no worm, and he's able to clear him out with seawater, which, I mean, there's a lot.
He was just poisoning him with
the whole time, right? The whole time the doctor is stealing items off of Adam. He takes a button, takes his ring,
right? Takes his ring off. He pries his ring off.
And this is ye old 1800s or whatever the fuck, 1700s, 1600s, period. And there's no banks, bro. So he has a key around his neck with all of his belongings in a chest.
Thing.
And that's what's being eyed by the doctor.
And he keeps on talking about his family back home, how much money he's got, how great things are, all that kind of stuff.
He's a lawyer. He makes cash money.
Dude, it's so funny. I just thought about the seawater thing again, because Tua kills the doctor, right? Tua kills Tom Hanks' doctor.
Doc Hanks.
That's the whole thing, right? He kills him.
Well, I know he gets hit over the head with the same chest that he was.
He might have just knocked him
with his Wario World chest.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just even when I said he drinks seawater, which makes him gag it out of his system and get out. I say that as a throwaway thing, but then I look at that and I'm like, wait, is there something there? Are they trying to say something about something there? Is there something there? Is there a metaphor about sea and natural?
At the very least, I think it's definitely indicating that Tua knows a bit of medicine, and that they're it's the barbarism that is bestowed upon that tribe that you see is more of a veneer. It's not really true. It's just the perception of them.
I think I'm just going more. I think I'm analyzing it too much. And more
you might.
First vignette.
But anyway, although
sorry.
No. We'll finish this vignette, and I want to emphasize a couple things.
So I mean, he gets the worm out of the system. Tua and him become buddies, and then basically Adam's story wraps up towards the very end of the movie, and it wraps up with him reaching San Francisco to meet back up with his lovely wife and their families. We're gonna put a pin right there for right now, and we're gonna revisit Adam and his lovely wife later on.
Gorgeous.
Yep. I do want to emphasize two things that we brought up a little bit later. Adam wears a top hat and a suit. He also has a vest with these opal buttons on it. Those get referenced later on in the story. So I just want to make sure that attention is drawn to that.
100%. Okay, so we're putting a pin in Adam's story. Christian, could you take us to the next vignette that Cloud Atlas takes us into?
Flash forward. It's 1936. British man. We're in ye old England, following a man named Robert Frobisher. Mr. Frobisher.
Played by Ben Whishaw.
Ben Whishaw.
Ben Whishaw, sorry.
Of Paddington fame and others.
Paddington's own.
He is a musical genius, one might say. And he takes a job as kind of a scribe for this very old composer named Vivian, right?
Your asshole.
It was a strange spelling of the name, but yeah, Vivian.
It's with Y's in it.
Asshole. Yeah, asshole. And he finds where he also has a lover. This guy named what's his name? Rufus Sixsmith. That's his name.
Yes, Rufus Sixsmith, Mr. Sixsmith.
He has a lover, and he goes to work for this elderly composer.
Do we want to talk about a little bit about how that story is introduced? Because here's the thing. When this vignette is brought up to the audience, we actually kind of know the ending of Robert's story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we know the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we kind of know them at the same time.
Yeah, because the beginning kind of flashes through moments of each kind of vignette, kind of without context, and we see kind of like the end of this one in the beginning.
Yeah,
we know that basically the story that's being told in this vignette is through the perspective of Sixsmith reading Robert's letters.
Yeah,
and this is Sixsmith, his lover. He starts the letters by saying, "By the time you're reading this, I have shot myself in the head." And this is basically why. And then he kind of goes into his whole vignette story, which is the story of him working for Vivian Ayres as an amanuensis. And if I'm understanding correctly, an amanuensis is kind of like a scribe, but for a music artist. Yeah. Like they like kind of help write the music that comes to the music artist.
Yeah,
way more of a piano related thing. And Ayres, from what I understand, he's like a very known and popular composer, but he's definitely like way in past his prime.
He's on the decline.
He's kind of, and he's a little washed up.
Yeah, he's a little washed up. Yeah, he was a little washed up. Yeah,
but Robert is kind of and Robert's pretty smart because what he ends up doing is he's like, I'm going to work with him and I'm going to kind of use him as a sponge to work on my own piece.
Yeah, I'm going to use his name. Yeah.
Called, Aref,
the Cloud Atlas Sextet.
Oh! The Cloud Atlas Sextet.
Oh my God.
Cloud Atlas. God. And the sextet, there's 6 stories.
There's 6. Ooh. And a sextet has 6 measures, right? Is that it? Yeah. Sextet has 6, So
six like parts to the song.
Parts. That's it. Yes. Here's the thing about Robert's story. I think it's one of the most beautiful. I think it's one of the best. I think it's one of my favorites in the story. But it's honestly not that long.
Yeah.
But its impact, its impact is so huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So huge. So huge. It's immensely huge. It's one of the biggest things that the movie probably leans on, in addition to a lot of others. So, I mean, we can really honestly quickly wrap it up. I don't want to just put a button on it really, for any sake, but Robert basically uses this job as a sponge to soak up Vivian's sort of, acumen when it comes to the piano. He works on the Cloud Atlas Sextet, and as he's working on it, Vivian finds out, and they kind of have it out for each other all of a sudden. Because Vivian really likes it. He wants to take it for his own. Robert kind of gives up the ghost about, I'm just here to, use you as a sponge, you old hag. And I just want to, work on my own thing. I know it's really good. It needs to be mine. And Vivian's like, fuck you. So
Vivian threatens to out him. And he says that we know that you're a pervert and a sodomite.
That too. Yeah. Yes. Doesn't feel like he has a lot of options, so he takes Vivian's gun while Vivian's sleeping. He uses it more as a threatening tool to just leave. But the thing about Vivian is that he's connected, and he has lawyers, so even though Robert can leave and be like, hey, don't follow me, don't fuck with me, I'll shoot you, he has lawyers that could come and get him. Or he does shoot him. That's the whole thing, right? He shoots him.
Yeah, he shoots him, but non-fatally.
Wounds him.
Non-fatal, that's right.
And it's funny because he does that thing that asshole villains do in movies.
Oh my God, yeah.
You're not going to shoot me. And then he gets shot. And he's like, oh, I've been shot.
Yeah. It's what are you going to do? Shoot me?
Yeah,
and he's like,
manages to be homophobic. This is after Edward kind of
to out him.
Well, Edward kind of puts the moves on.
He gets some mixed signals.
That's true too.
He does.
We can't glance over that. You're so right, Aref. There is a little bit where when they do kind of join up on the Cloud Atlas Sextet, because he does remark about how beautiful it is and how much much of a masterpiece it is, despite Robert not being as experienced as him at the piano, even though he technically is. There is a little bit of chemistry there, and he's given off a little bit to Robert, which Robert takes, and does kind of put on a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't like not warranted when you watch that scene for sure. I mean, I don't want to say not warranted, that's the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
Go ahead.
Robert
Is
his
wife.
His daughter.
Also true.
Wife?
That's his wife.
Oh, that's his wife?
No, it's his like
he has a
side
really
piece
young
wife.
I thought that was his
wife,
daughter.
yeah.
Oh,
Who is
his
also
wife.
in it for the money,
Yeah.
though, because Robert knows that. They have that
Robert knows that.
conversation.
Well, there's a lot of complexity to this that I don't think is like incredibly crucial. I mean, you could dive into
It's
super
it.
just messy.
important to the movie. Yeah, it's more just kind of like, it's messy.
Also note throughout this entire time, Robert is reading the Pacific Journal, which is the writings of Adam Edwin from the first vignette on his Adam Ewing on his travels from, I forgot what country was it. He was in Africa, right?
No,
he was in
the
like
Pacific Islands.
Polynesian islands.
Oh, he was in the Pacific Islands.
Yeah.
For the Polynesian Islands back to San Francisco. Yeah.
Right. So Robert is on the lam. There's people looking after him because he's fatally injured Vivian, and he basically decides to post up in this chapel, and he's going to end it all. That's what he's decided. Here's the thing, though. Robert has been writing Rufus throughout this journey. This isn't just like the first, letters that Rufus Sixsmith has been reading. They've been writing back and forth to each other for a while. So Rufus is actually following Robert through his letters to try to figure out where he is. Mm-hmm. And there's this really beautiful scene before Robert dies, unfortunately, because it does happen. Like you said, it did. And where they're literally so close to each other, and Robert specifically hides from him because he doesn't.
He's like playing with him.
He doesn't want Rufus to be implicated with him, though. He just—that's kind of it. Like, he doesn't want
to protect him. Yeah,
he's doing it more to protect him more than anything because it's already hard to be gay. In 1936, he hides from him, and it's so unfortunate because you find out that. And this is kind of the poetic beauty of this vignette, in my opinion, is that the audience is introduced to it. Hi, you're reading. By the time you're reading this letter, you know that I've shot myself in the head. But you find out at the end of the vignette that Rufus Sixsmith was only seconds away from stopping Robert.
Yeah, he was
Rufus
in the
was
same
right
building.
behind
He was up the stairs.
And I obviously trigger warning suicide. They show the suicide. They show him shooting himself in the head. Trigger warning suicide. I think it handles it really well. It doesn't glorify the suicide. It shows the pain that led up to it. And then also the aftermath, like the excruciating feelings of the loved ones. I should also mention the reason he had the Luger, right? But I don't think he was actually going to kill himself until he gets back to, it's just like a hotel type thing.
Yeah.
And he goes up to the front desk, and the front desk guy essentially extorts him.
Who is Tom Hanks? Who is Tom Hanks? Extorts him, says, "Give me money, and I won't tell the authorities that you're here." Because he throws down the giving him the waistcoat that his lover gave him. By the way,
exactly, yeah. Which is which is basically another shackle that's being put on Robert, right? Because he just escaped the shackle that was Vivian, and putting onto this. There's a huge thematic element of like oppression and like freedom that kind of goes throughout the stories.
Yeah, it's a really awesome scene, and there's this it's a really awesome vignette, and it is a really beautifully done, and there's this really cool scene where like the writing and the music is super beautiful, and it's reaching like this big crescendo, and there's like the slow motion like teacup dropping like sequence while they're dancing or like smashing all these teacups because they're like. The letters are just so alive with their love. It's so beautiful, and it's so sad.
It's stunning. Yeah,
it's so sad and heart-wrenching that unfortunately Robert dies and Rufus lives on. But that's where that leaves off for Cloud Atlas's sake, and we're going to move on from that. Unfortunately, as beautiful as it is.
And I do want to note the Cloud Atlas sextet. You do hear it, part of it
throughout the movie.
Throughout the movie, this is where first time you get the name, but as the vignettes build, so does the sextet. So you hear more and more of it as everything kind of comes together, which is honestly it's stunning. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, just to remind the audience, like this is all again interwoven throughout the entire runtime of the nearly 3-hour movie. So you're getting the piecemeal of the story as you're getting the piecemeal of the music throughout and all jumping around, which is, I think, kind of awesomely done, but it's not for everyone, I will acknowledge.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. And in the beginning scene where they're, he's screwing his lover Sixsmith, you see on his booty a little birthmark. Also,
that's right, he has the birthmark. Christian, do you want to take us into our next one?
So in 1973, Louisa Ray, a journalist, meets Sixsmith, now a much older man. They meet in an elevator and it breaks down, and they kind of like pass the time by introducing each other and to saying what they do. And Sixsmith is like he's like a nuclear scientist, I believe, right?
He's a physicist. Yes, I don't think it's supposed. I mean, it's kind of nitpicking. I'm a STEM asshole.
I'm Lord.
He's a physicist. He's a physicist. He knows about a nuclear reactor. He has drawings and knowledge of nuclear reactors.
Well, I mean, and this isn't, I mean, we don't have to get too much into it because I think just by, at least stating this, we kind of help that out. But like this 1973 vignette is kind of backdropped around the use of nuclear power, which is a little bit of kind of, I believe, revisionist history in terms of like how we, operated our nuclear kind of energies. And this is a situation where in this 1970s, people are way more pushing for a nuclear power, a nuclear power as opposed to using fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. This is all relevant because it's actually, it kind of plays into the sci-fi elements of the movie weirdly a little bit. But it is kind of like part of the conspiracy that Louisa does unfold.
Yeah, and this one I think has the most important world building, because the events of this one kind of affect the like everything on a global scale.
Yeah,
later on.
Yeah.
So
this is not a short-sighted film.
This is my least favorite one.
Yeah, I like just in general, like if we're just kind of breaking down like my interest in what was going on, I would say this is probably my least favorite. But it's still like really good, and they're all good in their own way. But
yeah, they're all good in their own way.
It's my least favorite in terms of like how much relevance it has to everything. One. But like I loved, but it like weirdly it is like you said, Aref, like one of the most important and prominent ones of the bunch. I think Halle Berry does a great job, but like it's also like weirdly juggling a lot because it's like playing this weird B plot where it's like I'm a single mom and it's just me, which is like is cool, but like also like it has a lot happening when it should just kind of focus more on the conspiracy, I think, because that's more of like where we're going. Yeah, anyways.
So Sixsmith kind of gives her a lead that, hey, there's this guy that runs this nuclear reactor in town. His name is Lloyd Hooks, played by Hugh Grant. Who says like, hey, there's some spooky stuff going on with him. There's some, skeevy stuff going on behind the scenes that you might want to look into because he's like backed by big oil, I think.
Big sludge.
Yeah, he's actually doing oil.
Yeah, he's actually an oil guy.
It's not renewable,
and he wants to cause a nuclear reactor meltdown in order to like show like, hey, look, like nuke power is bad.
Yeah, we should go back.
Yeah, in a real like
he's engineering
versus Tesla AC versus
he's engineering a psyop.
Engineering a psyop. Exactly.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is that Rufus, shortly after this meeting in the elevator, and Louisa gets the tip, gets killed.
Yeah, he gets
by
killed.
a hitman.
Smoked.
And shot in the head, also, by the way.
Yeah.
I pointed out similarly to his lover in
that's a good point.
And the hitman made it look like a suicide, too.
That's true.
Which is true. Even more kind of...
But she takes this lead and she goes to the nuclear reactor and tries to like get an interview with Hooks and, tries to like do some more digging, investigative journalism, cool stuff. and then she meets Tom Hanks, scientist Tom Hanks,
Right.
who is probably the most normal, nice Tom Hanks, maybe.
Yes, yeah.
Did you know? Technically, by TRACcast standards, we've had more Tom Hanks characters
We have.
that we
He's a
covered in
regular.
Oh my
movies.
god, this
Than
is such
anybody.
a Tom Hanks podcast.
We did shit on his first movie that he did, so we'll see how this turns out.
We did.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to go over The Man Called Otto.
Dude,
Let's go.
I just gotta say though, 23-21 Tom Hanks is my favorite.
True.
So nuclear scientist Tom Hanks kind of gives her the down low, like, here's some reports that Six Smith was doing that kind of exposes some stuff going on around here about, planning the meltdown, because Smith was luckily taking notes.
There was like literally documents that like she's trying to get that like she has twice, and both times action things happen where she loses them.
Yeah.
Which is
It gets
unfortunate.
blown up.
Oh, and Keith David shows up and helps her out. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And no, the whole time she's reading the letters that Robert sent to Six Smith, the two
That's
lovers.
right.
Yeah, 'cause she
That's
finally-
Yeah, the whole
right.
time she's reading these.
She knows about the Cloud Atlas, sex
And what's really nice about it is she's reading it, and there's a scene where she's reading these documents, right? And this like random fucking child busts through the window.
I think it's her neighbor.
It's her
I think
kid.
so, yeah.
He's so irrelevant.
It's definitely her kid, because I think someone picks him up because like she's in danger.
Oh yeah. Anyways, but she's reading it, and she looks at it, and she's like, "Why do humans keep making the same mistakes?"
Because that's what we're good at.
Interesting.
And it's so it's kind.
That's interesting.
So it's kind of like it's like another homage of like a character in the or in a future era learning from a previous character.
Totally. And
which
she also
was-
listens
which is-
to the sextet
Yes.
at a record shop.
Yes, she goes and she listens to the sextet. Which fun note, right? Robert was never able to publish it because he killed himself, right? Which means that Six Smith must have been the one who found it, listened to it, and published it on his behalf.
Very true.
Which makes their
And
story
Robert
even more
plays
tragic.
the record player owner, or the record store owner.
Yeah,
the actor for Robert plays the record store owner as well.
I fucking hate it. It's so
You don't like that?
I don't
that?
like the reusal of actors. I think it takes away from the fucking point of the goddamn.
I think
if they're not,
it's one of those things where it's like if it was just Tom Hanks,
7 Days
I
to
think
Die.
it would be way better. I was thinking the same.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. If it was just Tom
Hanks,
Hanks being the same character, or like one or two, I think I'd be get with it. Sorry, Christian, what were you going to say?
well, I think the idea is that it kind of helps like visually show, because I mean, movies are available on
connected.
video, like how connected people are across times, and kind of like the reincarnation of souls. So like people like
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
become different versions of themselves.
Oh, this movie is so pro-Buddhist.
Very, absolutely.
Yeah. By the way,
Yes. It,
probably Buddhist propaganda, if anything. But like,
Yeah,
I'm
this
with
is
it.
good.
And I feel like if you obviously it's hard not to, because they are just playing different versions of these characters, that the same actors. But like you could theoretically maybe take it mentally in a way of like, maybe they don't literally look like themselves, but like they carry the
Right.
soul of that person in them, if that
Right.
makes any sense. If you want,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on a rant about this at the end. So just a heads
Rant
up.
alert.
awesome.
I think if anything too, it's actually probably like more so on a literal sense that like actually these characters you're seeing in the past just had so many relatives too that just like so all of a sudden now people just look like each other,
Mhm.
which like also is the whole point with like the mixing of the races, which so like I think like in both the literal and metaphorical sense it's working, which like for me, when it's the metaphorical, I'm with it. When it's the literal and then like they race swap, that's where I draw the line for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think we can all agree with. But like, it's just like, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on it because I see both sides, but also like I kind of like the charm of the movie and how it does that. Yeah, I don't know. That's one of the things about this movie. Like it's very deep. It's big. It's a lot. and I think it's good, but like, man, like it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
The rest of this vignette is just kind of cyclical. Like she gets the copy of the report, and then Hooks's like assassin like runs her off the road, and the report is destroyed.
Into the drink,
we don't have
as
it.
Christian said.
And then she gets into the drain, right?
She was spinning through the air like a football, and he had to make a joke.
I mean, you know what? You gotta throw it out there.
Yeah. And then doesn't she kind of win? She exposes the plot.
Well, she does because there's this kind of climax where like the hitman is like chasing her, and then Keith David helps her out. And then the hitman is killed, and then she's able to get another copy of the report from Sixsmith's like niece. And then
who is Korean, by the way. Important because there's characters who were in the Korean War. Kind of shows you like the race play and the otherism that's at play here.
And then she's able to expose the plot, and Hooks gets arrested, and that's the end of that story essentially.
Also, she gives the niece Sixsmith's and Robert's letters, their love letters back and forth.
That's right.
Yes,
it's very sweet.
right.
Very, very sweet scene. Yeah,
very nice.
Again, just the passing on, and because it's also cool because it's literally like passing on of literature, where it's like Adam's journals influenced Robert, who influenced him to write the letters, and then the letters got passed to the niece. Like just this kind of like you said, the string kind of going along.
Yeah. Oh my god, because Robert read the Adam Ewing and Louisa Reed's.
But with the intro of the movie, it's the first thing that man has given.
Spoken word!
Telling stories
in
the fire.
That actually, I just had a TRACcast blow my mind moment right now.
Well, I don't know if we're getting ahead, but even at the end, it turns out he is at fire with, well, we'll get to it, I guess. Oral tradition.
I do want to give a little pace break here to kind of just discuss a little smidgen of what we've been talking about a little before. It's very apparent, at least at this point. Well, let's say we're halfway through the movie, right?
And thank you, listener, for bearing with us so far. We're about halfway, but I think it gets a little quicker from here on out.
So yeah, a bit of a pace break here, since we're about halfway through. We're 3 of the 6 vignettes, and thank you so much, listener, for going through this with us. Especially me, from the bottom of my heart. I'll describe later why it's important. It's very visually apparent that each of the parts of this movie, each sixth of the sextet, are different genres of movie.
Is just about to literally talk about that, because the next one I think we're going to breeze through really quickly, to be completely honest with you. And all of them have very distinct styles, not only in how they're edited and how they're structured within their vignettes, but how they're overall woven in as well, and also just how they're shot, how they're sequenced, how they're made, how they look.
Yeah, literally everything from the way it's written to the way it's, the colors are on the screen.
Exactly,
it's
the colors.
insane.
Exactly.
Insane.
Yes. It's pretty well done, and I really like it.
I mean, like, while I think a $100 million movie is like a gluttonous, a very American thing, the money was used appropriately.
Yes, you feel like you're there in the sets.
If Warner Brothers could get this movie made $100 million today, they would be on their knees.
Literally, yeah.
Like, they'd be like, please.
Yeah, nowadays they have like $20 million budgets for fucking Chris Evans crab towers on set every day.
I like that we keep just picking on a Marvel actor, which, like, I mean, I guess so.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, like headlines, $80 million to say 4 lines.
This movie would be $1 billion if it came out today.
It would.
It'd switch up a little bit of the actors, but
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, they'd probably spend more money on it. I mean, realistically.
And you also have to appreciate the fact that, like, while this movie does use a lot of CGI, it also does use a lot of practical effects.
You feel it, and it's supposed to be apparent when the CGI, because like Trevor pointed out, a lot of the CGI looks like Speed Racer, and it does, but it's supposed to. It's supposed to. It fits into the story it's telling,
like Speed Racer was.
Each one, nothing looks out of place.
Yeah.
Shout out Speed Racer. No,
even though
no, not at
everything is
all.
vastly different.
It's really apparent because even in the future settings, when you see a lot of CGI, like you can see when it's fake CGI and it looks glossy and gross versus the CGI that's used to enhance the movie, to push a plot forward, to make it look good, to make it, it's very interesting. Holy moly. We're halfway through the vignettes, but like I said, this next vignette is going to be really, really fast, listener.
Yeah, this will be a fast one.
So this one begins in London. It is 2012, and we open on I believe is he an author or a publisher?
He's a publisher.
Timothy?
He's a publisher. He's a publisher, but he's also written books. But his by practice, he is a publisher.
I'm genuinely going to sum this up so fast. So basically, Timothy is our star of this vignette, and he gets into a little situation where he doesn't have a lot of money, and he is working with this gangster who has written a book about his life, a memoir. It's not selling very well, and they're at a party together, and they have a little argument because our Dermot Hoggins is the guy's name, played by Tom Hanks, who is a South African gangster, who is very angry that his movie is not, or his book is not doing very well. His book is not doing very well. At this publishing party, Tom Hanks cites the critic who gave a harsh review of his memoir and gets really angry, kind of goes ballistic on Timothy, our quote-unquote protagonist of this vignette, and is like, I'm going to do something. So he literally throws him out of a window. You see him die, and it's crazy.
It's very shocking. It's also very early on in the movie this shows up, so it
looks funky.
Very.
It's
like, what the heck is happening?
And I do think it really does set the tone,
It does.
I think it all makes sense in the end. It makes sense in the end, but watching it the first time, it's a slog.
I think it's the sloggiest of all of them, and I think it's also the one that has the weirdest relevance and the most stretching I
think it has an interesting,
if that makes sense. I think one thing to say about this, and this is why I wanted to bring up why the genre shifting, is because Timothy telling the audience his story in his vignette. He's telling a recounting of the events that happened in his vignette to the viewer. This is important later. Hang on to that, viewer.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what happens is after Tom Hanks literally kills this guy, you think something bad might happen, but actually Tom Hanks's popularity skyrockets and the book profits like none before. He's very popular. Nothing happens to the gangster guy, but or does he go to jail? Is that what happens? Because those guys go after him, Timothy? What's the whole deal? Or he just owes money?
No, I think
they
just try to hassle him for the money, I think, because the book did really well.
Yeah, okay. No, so the book does really well. He calls his bank and he goes, "Where the fuck is my money from this book? I need to pay out these guys that are threatening me." And the bank goes, "Oh, you just had a shit ton of debts. So all you have, like, after you pay all of your debts,
all of your sports gambling,
you have maybe, I think it was like $2,000 or something like that. So not nearly enough money to reach that $50,000 mark."
That's right.
He even was like, "Oh,
guys."
Yeah, but the guys are like, he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go to the cops," and he was like, the cops didn't really fucking help the critic from falling out of a building, so we'll kill you and we'll just go to jail. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, because they're just working for the dude. So, and they'll probably, Tom Hanks will probably just bail him out for working for him. So, what Timothy ends up doing, our hero Timothy, he ends up calling his rich brother, who has a bunch of money, and he asks him for help. And played by
who else but Hugh Grant?
Thank you. Who else? Yeah, that's right. He's played by Hugh Grant.
This guy looks nutty.
He does.
He looks like a Foogly undercover.
Is that on purpose?
I'm wondering.
Comedic, like,
I'm wondering if it's almost intentional. Yeah,
right?
Because it's supposed to be like a comedy movie.
Anyways, so you find out basically his brother goes, "Okay, I'm going to check you into a really nice hotel. Everything's going to be great." So Timothy goes, he checks in, he signs this paper to check in, and you find out it's not a hotel, it's actually an old folks home.
Why don't you read the fucking papers, you publisher?
Well, Timothy's
Yeah.
kind of, I mean,
He's a bit of a
I
dunce.
think that's kind of the funny thing about his vignette is
Yeah.
that he's kind of a dunce. He's actually kind of stupid and actually
he's
makes
arrogant.
really bad decisions, but
He's just
they
an arrogant
kind
guy.
yeah, a little bit. But they end up working in his favor because just to sum up this vignette so quickly, he finds friends within this old folks home. They all want to get out because they don't like it there. They bust out. They kind of get into like a comedic sort of like old folks are running away from the, old folks home, and the, staff are chasing after them to, get them back into the rooms. And one of the staff is Hugo Weaving in drag, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
Oh yeah, Hugo
It's
Weaving's
not-
in this movie.
He's in a lot.
Yeah, by the way, Hugo Weaving's
He's
in
in like
this movie.
half.
Well,
Yeah,
and
it's-
he's one of the worst aggressors
yeah.
for something. Like
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
We'll get there.
But
It was at that point that I realized the woke mind virus infected this, like the Polynesian worm.
Timothy and his old folks friends, they go to a bar to hide out. They find within the bar.
Oh,
bunch
come
of
on,
people
they're
watching a
Scottish
soccer game, or,
hooligans.
I'm sorry, football game.
The Scottish
A bunch of
hooligans.
Yep.
a bunch of football hooligans.
Oh, we're here to watch some footy.
Regular Scran enjoyers.
Yeah.
Regular Scran enjoyers. And what a really cute scene happens where like Mr. Meeks, who is a little meekish, he like screams at the top of his lungs, like, "Isn't there a true Scotsman among you?
We're being
like,
harassed.
We are, we want to get away from these people. Help us, And the nice people of the establishment end up actually helping and like are really nice and are like, leave those old people alone, and get the staff to get off their back. And then Timmy makes a story, like a book, out of what happened and gets published. And or no, he makes a screenplay. Sorry,
Yeah, he writes
makes
the movie.
a screenplay. He writes a movie about what happened. And
Yo, last time was a movie, man.
I mean, I guess there's nothing else to really say about the vignette other than, like, I guess one detail I left out is that Timothy was sent there as an act of revenge from his brother because Timothy did cheat on his wife, which is kind of a theme throughout the movie, but, yeah.
A couple things to emphasize here. This one has the weakest, I think, connection to previous vignettes. This one's obviously very funny, but this one he receives a manuscript from. By the way, it's not her daughter. It's not Luis's daughter from the nuclear power vignette. It's just a kid that fucking hangs around. Anyway, so the kid's name is Javier Gomez. He writes a like almost a book that's about like one of her mysteries, and he sends it to him for publishing.
Hey,
So
written word.
the movie that he writes, the movie that his script gets turned into, ends up influencing a future vignette in such a huge way.
The one we're just about to talk about.
I want to say that it connects I just want to say that it connects the theme of tradition or storytelling and learning lessons and using that in your worldview from art. And that is something that you learn and people have done from the Wachowski sisters' other films.
That's
really
cool. Especially because Matrix,
I
and
like that a
how
lot.
important that was.
And just going off of that, I kind of want to just recount like the pieces of work that have almost transcended the periods, which we have a journal, we have letters, we have like a composition, a musical composition, we have a book, and now we're gonna have a movie. So we're kind of going through like almost all
of a movie,
forms
though. It's a screenplay specifically.
Yeah, it's a screenplay.
Right.
So
Oh my
like we're kind of going
God.
through all of these different forms of
Listener, hang in there. We're doing. That's all I gotta say.
And culture.
This
Yeah.
one track cast you
And-
don't want to miss.
And if you got to this point and you haven't watched the fucking movie,
Yeah,
this
get
is
off
your
now.
fault.
Get off now.
Reminder: watch the
If
movie.
you're confused, if you're confused, it's your fault for fucking listening to this and not watching the movie.